I'm just kind of ready for the next chapter and a new challenge in my life, but I think the reason I decided to announce it when I did was just...
3 names, 3 generations, 1 significant announcement. Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, and Larry Bird have officially joined forces, not for a photo op or a memorial, but to collaborate on a long-term basketball project. The move unites a rookie WNBA sensation, a worldwide NBA icon, and one of the most recognized brains in basketball history. It is uncommon to witness such cross-generational collaboration, particularly at this level of power. And while complete facts are still coming, it is evident that this collaboration is not symbolic. It is strategic, from commercial development to player mentorship and grassroots training programs. This trio has devised a collaborative strategy that has the potential to alter how the sport is promoted, taught, and elevated, particularly in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, and Larry Bird all established their names in various eras of basketball, but they're now collaborating. LeBron is still an active NBA player and is widely regarded as one of the world's most successful athlete entrepreneurs. Larry Bird retired decades ago, yet he remained active as a coach and executive, particularly with the Indiana Pacers. Caitlin Clark is only getting started in the WNBA, but she has already achieved national recognition through endorsements and record-breaking fan interaction. What distinguishes this announcement is that these 3 are not simply contributing their names to the same initiative. They're working directly on something new, most likely including company growth, training, and youth outreach. It is uncommon for stars from different generations to formally align like this. However, their particular skills make it make sense. Bird provides decades of leadership and front office expertise. LeBron adds worldwide recognition and proven economic success. And Clark brings momentum and a connection with younger audiences. The approach looks to prioritize long-term growth above short-term headlines, and if well handled, this collaboration has the potential to offer up new opportunities for future players, particularly young women looking to break into the sport. This connection is much more than simply basketball. It is also about business. LeBron has developed a career off the court that mirrors his on-court successes. He's made more than $1 billion from contracts, sponsorships, and investments. His contract with Nike is for life, and his interests in media, sports ownership, and product branding continue to expand. His influence extends beyond the NBA into entertainment, technology, and education. Larry decided to take a different approach. After retiring, he spent several years developing the Indiana Pacers, first as head coach and subsequently as president of basketball operations. He developed playoff teams, made sound personnel judgments, and gained recognition as one of the game's brightest thinkers. His concentration was not on marketing, but on structure and long-term success. Then there is Caitlin. She is only at the beginning of her career, yet she is already one of the most marketable names in sports. Nike signed her to a significant contract. Gatorade, Wilson, and others followed. Her social media following exceeds that of the majority of NBA players, and her presence is influencing popular perception of women's basketball. When you combine these 3, you have exposure, strategy, and credibility, the fundamental building elements of every meaningful sports business initiative. Of all locations, Indiana is where this partnership is likely to take form, and that makes sense. Everyone is aware that Larry is from Indiana. He played collegiate basketball at Indiana State before becoming a coach and executive for the Indiana Pacers for decades. He understands the state's basketball culture better than anyone, particularly how seriously the game is taken at the youth level. Clark currently plays professionally for the Indiana Fever of the WNBA. Her visit increased attendance, ticket sales, and media coverage. She is no longer merely a player in the state. She has emerged as one of its most visible sports stars. The overlap between Bird's past and Clark's present provides a clear beginning point for this effort. That's probably why Indiana was picked as the basis. There is already a robust basketball infrastructure, a devoted fan base, and a call for further investment in women's sports. LeBron has no personal ties to Indiana, but his engagement adds weight. If he supports a program, whether it is for youth training, player development, or infrastructure, it indicates that the initiative is not regional. It's national, if not global. And it all began in a city with a strong basketball tradition. While the details have yet to be revealed, early indications point to a multifaceted project centered on training, mentoring, media, and community development. One big option is to open a new basketball training academy. With Bird's coaching and management skills, LeBron's experience constructing training facilities like those via his foundation, and Clark's connection to today's young players, they have the perfect combination to develop something new and effective. This might include on-site coaching, performance analytics, and educational assistance designed not only for outstanding prospects, but also for a larger variety of youngsters. Think of it as a combination of physical training, leadership development, and job preparation. They're also expected to investigate the media. This involves producing podcasts, digital video series, and teaching materials for young players and coaches. Each of them has its own audience. Spring Hill, LeBron's media firm, connects him with fans all around the world. Clark engages with younger social media users. Bird appeals to basketball enthusiasts. They might collaborate to create material that speaks to people from all generations. There's even talk of product design, trademark clothing, or training items with all three names. That alone would attract the attention of sponsors and companies. But the larger objective appears to be sustainability. This is not a short campaign. It's a long-term project that will provide young players, particularly females, with more access to high-quality training, mentorship, and visibility that has not previously been accessible in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's entrance in the WNBA has already impacted the league's prominence. Games are attracting record audiences. Merchandise is selling out. Networks are providing more attention to women's basketball. However, Clark's effect may only be the beginning. With LeBron and Larry Bird's encouragement, the women's game is anticipated to gain traction, and not only among fans. Their engagement boosts corporate credibility. Sponsors, investors, and media partners are more inclined to commit when familiar, established names are engaged. This might lead to larger sponsorship agreements, more broadcast games, and greater player resources, including training, travel, and promotion. The WNBA has long suffered with salary disparities, limited publicity, and a lack of facilities. A high-profile collaboration like this might help bridge such gaps faster. Clark's presence draws notice. LeBron offers reach. Birds provide structure. Together, they can generate chances for present and future WNBA players that did not exist 5 years ago. It's also conceivable that this group will advocate for development projects that directly benefit the league. This means more training for young females, more scouting, and a more defined path from youth basketball to the professionals. If they succeed, this idea might propel the WNBA into a new era, with greater support, increased awareness, and significant growth potential. All three of these sportsmen have made it obvious that they are looking long-term. James has already demonstrated what legacy building looks like. His off-court career, which includes founding a public school in Akron and creating a media firm, is centered on effect. He doesn't simply invest in businesses, he also invests in people. Bird's legacy is based on leadership. As a coach and executive, he spent years coaching players and building teams. He prioritized development over publicity, and that approach appears to be consistent with what this alliance represents: structure, discipline, and outcomes. Clark, who is still in her early stages of profession, leaves a different type of legacy, one that speaks directly to future generations. She's more than simply a rising star. She's a role model for many young athletes. They're combining experience, influence, and relevancy. This endeavor is about more than just the sport of today. It is about building a structure that will assist tomorrow's gamers by providing access, mentorship, and real-world opportunities. If it succeeds, it is more than just a cooperation. It becomes a blueprint. This cooperation carries significant financial weight. LeBron James is the first active NBA player to become a billionaire. He has made more than $500 million in salary, and considerably more from sponsorships, investments, and commercial enterprises. His name alone may influence the trajectory of a brand or enterprise. His work with Nike, Beats, Blaze Pizza, and Spring Hill demonstrates how he leverages influence to generate long-term value. Larry may not have the same commercial reach, but his financial situation is stable. With a net worth of over $75 million, he has stayed engaged in coaching, consulting, and local sports activities, particularly in Indiana. His function provides expertise and reputation, which may be as valuable as money. Caitlin, on the other hand, is still in her early career. Her debut deal is small by pro sports standards, totaling $338,000 over 4 years, but her sponsorships placed her in a different league. Deals with Nike, Wilson, and Gatorade increase her earning ability well beyond her wage. Together, they provide cash, strategy, and marketability. The resources are in place. The question now is how they will use their collective power to create something permanent. This collaboration between Caitlin Clark, LeBron James, and Larry Bird is not for publicity. It is about making long-term investments in basketball at all levels. The emphasis appears to be on youth training, player development, media coverage, and increased support for women's sports. Bird has decades of coaching and executive experience. LeBron has demonstrated business success and worldwide reach. Clark speaks directly to younger fans and symbolizes the future of the women's game. The concept is obvious, the resources are in place, and the time is appropriate. What happens next will be determined by execution, follow-through, and the capacity to provide meaningful outcomes.